Hey, howdy, hey, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sam. I am a YouTuber who reviews all things Drag Race, and for today's episode, I will be reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race UK, episode 7 from season 2. So, if that sounds good to you, make sure to hit that like button, comment down below what you thought about this episode, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright, so, yes, I just watched RuPaul's Drag Race UK episode 7, so I'm going to go ahead and give you my thoughts and my opinions on the episode, what I thought of all the things, the elimination, and all the above. So we're going to get right on into it. This week's episode was a design challenge. Yes, a design challenge. I love a good design challenge. And this week's, the design challenge theme was superheroes. So they all had to make costumes out of regular household materials, and make superhero costumes, basically. Basically around the theme of lockdown and, like, everything that's going on in the world, and they were all under lockdown. This was a good way to, like, take regular household items and make cool, fun outfits out of them. So, this was what this week's episode was, and we will be starting from the beginning. The episode starts out with the queens walking back into the workroom after Tia Coffee had just been eliminated. And the queens began talking to each other about who they think will be going home next. And there's a lot of chattering about how either Ellie or Sister will be the next one to go, because neither one of them have a repeater badge. And Ellie takes this very personally, it seems like, especially her and Lawrence get into a bit of a tiff over it. I think they're fine, but it was just an interesting point that I was like, I was not expecting that. Anyways, so there's that going on. They're just trying to narrowing down to see who will be in the top 4. And yeah, that was about it. We get into a brand new day now that that whole drama is over. And we find out that they're going to have to do a mini challenge. And this week's mini challenge is the reading challenge, because reading is what? Fundamental, yes. So, let's get into these reads. Am I right? Alright, as far as the reading challenge goes, Sister was very funny. I thought Bimini was hilarious. And I also really liked Lawrence. Ellie was a little bit rougher. I didn't necessarily like Ellie's jokes as much. I thought Taste did a pretty good job. But in the end, the winner of the reading challenge is going to be Sister. So it turns out Sister really knows how to throw a read. Alright, that bit's done. So the reading challenge ended, and now RuPaul is telling them, explaining what the maxi challenge is, where they will be having to take household materials and making garments to represent superheroes. So, Sister, because she won the mini challenge, gets to go grab out the materials 15 seconds earlier than everyone else. So Sister ends up getting a whole bunch of materials, and then everyone else is kind of trying to figure out what the best they can get from what they have left. And some of the queens feel like they didn't have much options, like Bimini. Bimini was a little bit left out in the dust trying to find materials, and everyone else was just grabbing a bunch of materials, as much as they could, it seemed like, going through different color palettes, different concepts, things like that, and just trying to figure out what they want to do with this challenge. So they are all starting to get ready, starting to put their garments together, and RuPaul walks back in, this time with Raven. So Raven is going to be the guest person walking through with everyone, giving makeup tips and all the above, because Raven is the queen of makeup. Anyways, so there are a few points I want to point out here. They talked to Taste, because Taste is making a garment out of Brillo pads, which is very much like, she's like, well, pain is worth the fashion, you know? But if it's just one material, it can get a little bit boring, which I think is what ended up happening ultimately, but we're not there yet. Anyways, So that happened. They talked to Ellie about her makeup and how she has really good makeup skills. Ahura is very excited for the challenge because obviously a design challenge. She's a fashion designer. It makes sense. Bimini seems stressed. And Lawrence, Raven suggests to put something more above the makeup because there's so much space between their brows and the actual eye makeup. So that was an interesting point. That was about it from the walkthrough that I really wanted to point out. But that brings the end of that day. Now the queens come back into the workroom again for a brand new day to really just finish putting garments together. It's elimination day, get ready for the runway, all the above. There are a few points I want to point out. Lawrence is nervous because Lawrence is still struggling to put their outfits together. Ellie feels pretty good because Ellie also does this regularly. Ahura is doing a very good job. Taste got injured, but it's fine now. That's about it. Really, Sister seems to just have too many materials almost, if that makes sense. Like, she's just trying to put too many things on the same garment, and it kind of swallows her up. So, that's about it. Now we get into the actual runway, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and my opinions on the runway. This will be a more light attention to the runway, because I will be coming back tomorrow with my fashion review, so definitely make sure you tune in for that. As far as the runway, there are a few people I wanted to point out who I think did really well. I loved Ahura's outfit. I thought it was just very, very well done. I think Sister looked like she was being swallowed up by her outfit. Taste, again, because it was just one material, it seemed too simple. And it, yeah, just wasn't great. I said Ahura looked great. Bimini looked great. I thought Lawrence looked fine. Ellie looked great. Yeah, that's about it. But when it comes to actual judges' critiques, we find out who the tops and who the bottoms are. The winner this week is going to be Ahura. I agree with this. 100% agree with that. Her outfit was awesome. I really, really liked it. Ellie's safe. Bimini's safe. And then the bottom three is Lawrence, excuse me, Sister, and Tia. And we find out that Lawrence is safe. So the bottom two will be Sister, and Tace. And they have to lip sync against each other and see who will Shantae and who will sashay away. The lip sync was fine, nothing too crazy to report about. In the end, we find out that Tace won the lip sync. I agree with this. And Sister has to sashay away. I think it was about time for Sister to sashay away, honestly, with you guys. We're pretty far into this competition, and at this point, Sister still doesn't have any wins, so it made sense to me that Sister would be sashaying away. So that brings me to the end of this episode, of course. Obviously, now we're at a top 5. Next week, we will be having a comedy challenge, so we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, that brings me to the end of my review. Again, comment down below what you thought about this episode. I really enjoyed it. Make sure to like this video if you liked it, share it all over social media, and hit that subscribe button. And yeah, I will be back here tomorrow with my fashion review. Have a good rest of your day. Bye guys!